Michael here from Shopify. Welcome to our second installment of our flash sale series. So very briefly, we'll go over what a flash sale is from last time. So a flash sale is a type of sale that's done over a short period of time, typically with a heavily discounted product or collection. And that's to create a kind of sense of urgency for customers to complete a purchase. So when it comes to a flash sale, planning in advance is key. So if you haven't already, we'd recommend that you check out our previous webinar where we covered how to create a plan and also how to get started with marketing. So in this webinar, we're going to be talking about how to execute a successful flash sale with Shopify. So without further ado, let's get started. So if only some of your items will be included in the flash sale, you can create a new collection for those products. So this can be done from products, collections, and you can hop into create collection to create that. If only a certain product will be discounted, you can manually set a sale for that product page using the compare at price. So this can be found in a products. If we check out our cream towel here. Okay, and then here we see our compare at price. So for example, we could set this at 59. Oh, set this at 159. It's a very good price for a towel. 15.99. Perfect. And then we can just save that, and then that will have our compare at price. So the next thing is if the branding is going to be a big part of your sale, you can create a theme to activate during the sale. So this can be done by going into your online store and themes. And you can see here we have our current theme, which is Dawn. And then if you wanted, you could hit the three dots here and hit duplicate, and that will create a copy of your theme. So it means that everything is kind of already there. And then you can add in maybe a different banner or make certain modifications to suit your flash sale theme. And then once you have done that, you can choose to make the theme, which will appear down here in your theme library. You can choose the option, should be the three dots, and then you can make that your live theme. So that's how you would create a specific theme that you can have active just during that sale period. So in our case, we're going to be offering 50% off our entire catalog. So we'll be using a discount that we'll be applying to the whole store. So to do this, we'll head over to discounts. And we'll go over here to create discount. And we can choose amount of order. And then we can see here we have discount code. So we can call it, for example, holidays 23. And then what did we say? We're going to do 50% of our entire catalog. And here under minimum purchase requirements, you can choose, for example, they need to spend at least £50, something like that, in order to apply for a minimum quantity of items. So maybe they have to buy 3 things from the store, something like that, in order for it to apply. So in our case, we're not going to set any requirements. It's going to be blanket 50% off because we're feeling generous. Okay. And then under the maximum discount uses, so you can limit the amount of times it can be used or limit it to 1 per customer. So for example, if you wanted to offer this for the first 200 customers or something like that, you could do that, or 1 use per customer. So this could be handy in certain situations where maybe you don't want customers to be using a discount over and over. So just allow them to use it the one time to ensure that they don't take advantage of a certain discount. And it's especially good, for example, if you have other discounts running at this on the store at the same time. So then here we have our combinations. So this is where we can choose what discounts it can be combined with. So you can choose to have it combined with your product discounts, your order discounts, or your shipping discounts. And then very importantly, we have our active date as well. So in the active date, we would maybe only want to have the discount running for 3 days, or maybe make it run for the weekend. So we could do, for example, the 27th, and then we can set our end date and have it finish the 31st. And then once we're happy enough with the times we want it to start, we can go up here and just have a little look at the summary, and this gives a brief overview of all the details of the discount, and you can just make sure that you're happy enough with everything. And then here under your sales channels, you can choose which sales channels you want to make sure it's applicable for. So usually we would see online store here, but because my store is password protected, so Sarah Soaps is not ready to be revealed to the wider world right now, it's not showing up as an option. But typically when your store is not password protected, you would see online store here as an option. So you just choose whatever sales channels you'd like to apply it for, and then you hit save. And then you can see that your discount has been created. So then you have your little link here, for example. So if you wanted to include that in an email, you could use that link to share the discount with the customers. So another thing that's important to do when it comes to your flash sale is to double check your inventory. So the reason this is important is because you want to make sure that you have the amount of products available to meet the demand. So for example, we see here vanilla soaps. So there's 500 available. So that should hopefully be enough for our flash sale. But maybe we know that there's going to be 10,000 available. So we can update that if we have those products to hand. But it's just important to make sure that when you're expecting a high volume of sales, that the inventory and all the settings are up to date. So you can see here, you might have noticed if you're looking at the products, you can see here that I have a number of products, but only one of them is showing up in here in the inventory. So the reason for that is because the other products are not set to be tracked at the moment. So we're not keeping a track of the inventory. If you wanted to change that, you could go into a product, for example, our handmade soap, and you could take a look and you could choose track quantity. And you can also choose if you want to continue selling it when out of stock. So for example, if you're happy enough during the sale, during your flash sale, maybe hopefully you get a lot more orders than you expected, and you know that you'll be able to source the stock to fulfill that backlog, you can choose the option to continue selling when out of stock. So when you're ready, you can just hit save. And now if we go back, take a look at inventory, and then at the moment we're seeing -1. So this would be indicative of the stock being in minus. So we've oversold. So for example, we know we have 500 available. So we can choose that and then save. Perfect. So that kind of covers our inventory and just making sure that that's all right for our flash sale. So next we're going to take a look at some apps that we have available to help increase the cart size and conversion. So the first thing that we're going to do is take a look at the Bundles app, which allows you to create bundles. So in our case, for example, we could create a specific holiday bundle. So we can hit create bundle here and call it holiday bundle. And then you can choose what products. So maybe you would like to do a little bundle with your soaps and your lotion. And then here you can choose the amount of products. You can change that. So the amount that you want to sell within the bundle or have available to choose. And then if you have a look at our settings, you could add the quantity as an option. So you have a lot of different options that you can choose from here. And then you can duplicate it as well. So have a second version of the product in the bundle. So you have two of them, two orange handmade soaps in the bundle, or else you can then remove here if you change your mind or if you don't need a certain product. So you can apply all these settings to each of the products in the bundle. And then when you're ready, you hit save and continue. And now we can see that our holiday bundle product has been created. So it looks like your regular product. You can see here it's named bundled products, and it was created by Bundles. So it's a little bit different the way it's set up. And then you have the different variants. So we have our quantity, we set to here. And then you can add your image if you wanted to apply for the variant. And then it's pretty much the same as your settings for a regular product. And then, as always, we have our little sparkles here. So it means we can use our Shopify magic. So if we want to do product description, we could say holiday, soap, lotion. What else would we want to maybe include? Value. And then you can maybe go with type of tone. Could go with persuasive perhaps today. And then if you wanted to add some special instructions to apply, you can choose that here as well. So next we'll hit generate text. Yeah. And here we can see a suggestion. So this looks pretty good to me, but if you don't like it, you can hit the dislike arrow, and then you can provide a bit of feedback if you want, but I'll choose to keep this, so it looks nice. And then we can save our bundle. We can choose to save it as active or as a draft, and then here in publishing, you can choose what sales channel to make it available to as well. And then something that's quite convenient, especially in the case of a flash sale, you can choose the date that the product will become available as well. So we could choose 12 o'clock, for example, here. So then when it's set to active, the product will become available at 12 o'clock. Perfect. So then we can hit save. And now we have our bundle product. So we can have a quick, so we can take a look at it here, and we can see that it's popped up and it's available as one of our products. So the next thing we can do to help, and the next tool that we can use is we can choose the inbox sales channel. So with Inbox, for example, you can set up some chat options, and you can anticipate some of the FAQ questions that might come up. So let's take a look here. You can look at our chat settings, for example. You can have our little greeting for instant answers. You can see track my order. Set an automatic option you can have where you can choose to have the tracking available if the customer chooses that, and this is what it looks like here on the side. Then we have a ready-made one here, so we can have a look at, for example, what are your shipping details. So if you wanted to maybe advise that the shipping will take a little bit longer during this period, you could say something like our current shipping times are 5 to 7 business days. Days. Perfect. And then we can save. And then we have our little preview here on the right-hand side to show what it looks like. If you don't like your answer, you can delete it here. You can start again. You can choose whether to turn a specific answer on or off. So if you're doing this specific flash sale, you could turn that on during the period that you wanted and then turn it off again when you anticipate that the shipping times will be back to normal again. And that's everything we needed to take a look at here in our inbox. We can also choose our colors and our positioning. So feel free to check that out in your own time as well. So the next thing that we're going to have a look at is our shipping. So it's very important to make sure that you can get the products out to the customers. So we've kind of alluded to that a little bit. So the way we would ensure that is, for example, if you're using a third-party fulfillment location or locations, you'd contact them to make sure that they are aware, first of all, that you're anticipating higher volumes. Maybe let them know what kind of volume you're expecting, and maybe, if possible, it could be easier to deactivate some of your fulfillment locations to simplify the process. So if you know you're going to get a lot of orders coming through during a flash sale, might get a little bit stressful trying to fulfill those from 4 or 5 different locations. So you might want to centralize it all within the one location. So what you can do is you can update your shipping policy to make sure that your timelines are realistic for our high volumes. So we saw how that was done in the context of the Shopify inbox app, so people can see it on the website. So you can maybe also update that in your settings policy and just make sure that that's up to date. Then it's also important to make sure that you're happy with your shipping zones and prices as well, since you'll be experiencing a larger volume. So what we can do is go to settings and shipping and delivery. And then here we have our general. So we're looking at our pricing, so we can see $14.99 is our EU rate, $23.99 for international. UK, it's free for £50 and up, or $5.99, which looks quite good to me. So, for example, what you could do, since we have the United Kingdom, international, and Europe, that's pretty good. We could also maybe choose, for example, USA, United States. So where did it go? So there is a moment. Go in the preview. United States. So you can see in my case, it's grayed out at the moment. So you can't choose your zone name or actually select a location. So the reason for that is because I don't have a market for the United States. So you would need to ensure that the product is included in a market in order to create the zone. So that can be done from settings and markets, or if you just click this hyperlink here, it'll bring you directly to where you need to go. So once you have set up your shipping zone, you will have the option to choose your conditions, your transit time, if you want to add that, and then the pricing as well. It's also a good idea to speak with a tax expert to ensure that you're charging the appropriate tax for each region if needed. So for the example of the United States, a lot of states have their own tax laws. So it's important to make sure that you've filed that all correctly. So you can reach out to a tax expert and they'd be happy to discuss that to make sure that everything's in order for you. So the next thing that we'll take a look at is preparing your store for unforeseen events or circumstances. So while we all want to have a successful flash sale, sometimes things are beyond our control. So an issue might come up with a third party. So we might just want to press pause on the whole situation to make sure that it doesn't get any worse. So what we can do is we can go into our online store, and first of all, we can go into preferences, and if we scroll down, you can see that I already have my password activated for this store. So you tick this box, and then this would allow you to restrict access to the website so that customers can't access it. So if you're running into an issue, you can just kind of hit pause on everything, make sure that the website can't be accessed, and then you can work on the issue itself. And of course, we're always here to help if you want to or need to reach out to Shopify support. So once you've done that, you're probably wondering what the customer sees on their side. So if we go into our theme and we hit customize, we can take a look here at the top under home page, then others, password. There it is. Perfect. So we can see here that at the moment it says opening soon. So it's not really applicable in our case. So maybe we could say we'll be back soon. Since the store has already been open, customers are used to them in shopping, and then they're kind of going, hey, what's going on? Why can't I see the website? Why can't I access the website? So we can change it to something like this. And then there's the options to edit kind of the heading size. So we can do that small one, medium, large. We can go back here and then be the first to know when we launch. So we could change this to something else. Say contact or support for question, something like that, and then have help at sarahssoaps.com, that kind of a thing. Or else you could just remove it altogether. We'll be back soon. Keep it simple. That's another option too. And then we have our email form. So it's not always a bad idea to have that so we can capture the email in case customer wants to be kept in the loop. We could even have a little message. So for example, we could say we'll be back soon. And then the paragraph under, leave your email for updates. And then you have captured the email and you have that for future reference as well. So that could be an option. So once we're happy enough with that, we can hit save. And then we have our password page, so that looks good. And then the next thing that we want to do is to quickly go back into our discounts. Let's see here. So another thing that we want to mention with the discounts is, for example, we might want to add an additional discount that we have separate to this holiday discount. So for example, we might want to offer 10% off to subscribers. So I kind of alluded to how you can copy the discount code. So for example, we could have create discount and amount off order, and then we can do discount code. We can call it Sarah Soaps New. Perfect. And then we can do 10% off. And then minimum purchase requirements. Looks okay. Specific customer segments. And then we can do customers that haven't purchased. So that could be a good one to do. So only customers who haven't purchased before can use this one, and then limit the number of times. So we only want to give them the discount the first time. So we can just apply that. Or we could do limit to one use per customer. So either or works here. You can have them use it one time or one per customer. And then we can have it so that it can be combined with order discounts. So this is a little warning to let you know, just be a bit careful and make sure that you're happy with your discounts. So for example, you're not offering, 60 or 80% off, and then you're doing another discount that can be combined with 20%, and then the order ends up being free. So we don't need to set an active date. You can if you'd like, but you don't need to set any end date or limit for this, because it's going to be an ongoing thing for subscribers and email subscribers. So once we're happy enough with that, we can hit save. Perfect. And then we have our shareable link here. So let's see. So this is what I was mentioning before. So you can copy that link. And then, as mentioned in the previous installment, the previous webinar, we can go to Shopify email and then use that link to share with new subscribers. Or also you could use a third-party app like Klaviyo, which allows you to create email campaigns. And now you're ready for your flash sale. You can find the links discussed with our webinar. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.